Yo, 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 yo. What's going, guys? Hooping News and Updates, man. This is episode 7 of the Hooping News Update show, man. And I'm very excited today. We have a lot to discuss for today's show. There's a lot going on. The Suns, they just fired Frank Vogel. I'm going to give my thoughts on that, give my thoughts on last night's game between the Knicks and the Indiana Pacers, get my thoughts on tonight's games between the Celtics and Cavaliers and the Thunder and the Dallas Mavericks. So, yeah, there's a lot of shit to discuss, man. I mean, like there's a lot of stuff going on around the league right now. Um, First of all, let me talk about this. Right, Frank Vogel uh, getting fired is just it really disturbs me because it's like okay, like like when some don't go right, blame the coach. I mean, like I just don't like that. I mean, what is it? This is Phoenix's third coach in like the last year because they had Monty Williams. Okay, they had Frank Vogel. Now they're gonna have the guy that they are gonna go get because it's like okay, it wasn't Frank Vogel's fault they made an idiotic decision for trading for Bradley Beal, and it wasn't Frank Vogel's fault that 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 they traded Aiton for Nurkic. You know what I mean? As flawed and as many problems that Aiton has, they should never let Aiton go because Aiton gives them better defense and rebounding. You know what I mean? Than Nurkic and probably better defense. You know what I mean? So like letting Frank Vogel go and firing him, that's not going to solve the Phoenix Suns issues, especially whenever they got to deal with guys like Minnesota. They got to deal with fucking Denver. They got to deal with Dallas. You know what I mean? Like Minnesota, Oklahoma City. I mean, there's teams that they got to fucking deal with. And Frank Vogel, yeah, is Frank Vogel perfect? No, but like, was Frank Vogel the main problem for the Phoenix Suns? No. So I don't like him getting fired. I don't. I think it's a bad move by them. To be honest with you, I didn't blame him at all. Blame him at all for them getting swept. You know what I mean? I just think it was a bad roster. You know what I mean? I think it was a poorly put together and constructed roster that at the end of the day was never going to work. It was doomed to fail from the start. And it doesn't matter who you have as the head coach because when you have a flawed roster like that, it's not going to work, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. So, especially when you face a defensive juggernaut like the Minnesota Timberwolves. You know what I mean? Like who have arguably one of the best defenses that the modern NBA has ever seen. You know what I mean? To be honest with you guys. So, yeah, the Suns' future's cooked, man. I mean, that shit's cooked. Um, Now, who they could hire as head coach? They're already talking about Mike Budenholzer. I think it's got to be a veteran. You know what I mean? Kind of like the Lakers, to be honest with you. I'm looking at guys like Mike D'Antoni because I'm like, okay, if you're the Phoenix Suns, how are you going to win basketball games with the roster you have? You're going to win basketball games by trying to outscore everybody. So what you end up doing then is you will just have to just go heavy offense. I think D'Antoni could be a good hire for them. Coach Bud could be a good hire for them. Terry Stotts, I'm looking at him. I mean, there's guys out there for Phoenix like to hire because to me, with this roster they have, it got to be an offensive minded coach because a defensive minded coach like Frank Vogel was never going to work, especially when you gave him Bradley Beal and Nurkic in the lineup. You know what I mean? Two poor defenders. So if they're going all offense, go get Mike D'Antoni. I think that should be the hire for Phoenix because D'Antoni could probably at least get the most out of that team. I mean, because he's an offensive mastermind, and I think he can. Will the Suns win the championship? No, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who they hire as coach. They can go hire Phil Jackson. They can go get Red Auerbach from the grave. I mean, they can go get anybody. I mean, it's just not going to happen. It's a flawed roster with very little defense. I mean, they just need to, yeah. I just don't like blaming everything on the coach. I mean, like when like something goes like wrong, it's all the coach's fault. And when something when good things happen, the players get all the credit. I mean, it's just I just don't know about it, man. It's very poor. I mean, and the Suns look like a really bad organization. Monty Williams fired. Okay, that one's somewhat justifiable because back-to-back years they got blown out at home in elimination games. So you're thinking, Monty's not the guy. So and then you let Milwaukee beat you 4 straight games in the finals. So okay, fire Monty was not a bad move. Then hiring Vogel, when you had plans to trade Ayton for Nurkic and you had a Bradley Beal trade set up, like Frank Vogel's never the right coach for that team. You know what I mean? It should have always been a defensive-minded head coach because at the end of the day, like I said, man, you just gotta fucking yeah. Suns, man, like boy, oh boy. Suns, man. What's going on, JT? It took him. See, this is what I'm talking about. YouTube, bro. YouTube is the YouTube's doing me dirty, man. Because like, how the fuck it takes so long for fucking people to get in here? I mean, YouTube ain't sending out them notifications, man. Like it's unbelievable. Like it really, really is. Frank, like, bro. I just, man, YouTube, man, they're just unreal. It's unfucking believable. What's going on, JT? What's going on, Edwin? Okay, Celtics or Cavs today. Celtics should win. I just think the Celtics. Well, let me first of all, is Jared Allen playing tonight? Let me see if Jared Allen's playing tonight. Let me see if there's any word on him. I don't think he's playing though, but we'll see. We'll see if there's an update out for him. Can Tatum make jump shot? I think Tatum will have a really big game today. Actually, Edwin, I think he's going to hear all the criticism and he's going to respond. I think we're in for a big Tatum game today. No word on Jared Allen yet. You think he does mid? I don't know, man. I think Tatum. I think there's a lot of noise after game one, and I think Tatum's going to finally show. You know what I mean? Like why he's that guy. 8 of 26. Damn. But see, though, Edwin, I really don't want Tatum to take 26 shots, though. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what the Celtics need at the end of the day, Edwin. The Celtics don't need Tatum to take 26 shots. If he's not hitting the shots, then fucking swing that ball to Holiday. Swing that ball to D. White. Let Jalen cook. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need Tatum to jack up shots. I mean, we don't need it. I mean, like, if he ain't hitting, feed everyone else. I mean, we have plenty of talent on the team. I mean, you saw what we did in game one, to be honest with you, Edwin. Tatum shot like shit, and he couldn't hit anything. We won by 25. I mean, because Derek White had a massive game. Jalen had a big game. Drew Holiday hit some shots. You know what I mean? Like, Jaylen Brown was a beast in that game. So, like, Tatum don't need to take 26 shots. 10 boards, 5 assists. What's going on, OCT? OCT X made. That's what I'm calling you, bro. OTC X made. What's going on, man? Yeah, man. I them firing Frank Vogel just doesn't sit right with me. It just doesn't. I don't like it. I don't like them. I don't like Frank Vogel getting fired, dude. I don't like him getting all the blame. It kind of bothers me. You're right, OCT. I mean, KD especially. We need to have a dialogue about Kevin Durant right now because Kevin Durant's going out sad in his career, man. Like, it's fucking pathetic. I mean, this guy, all he's done ever since leaving Golden State is underachieve and get coaches fired. He builds super teams. When it don't go right, he gets the coach fired. And then guess what? When that fails, he demands another trade. And what do you think's going to happen next season when they fail again? He's going to demand yet another trade. I mean, the writing's on the wall. It really, really is. The writing is on the wall with KD. I just look, they failed Frank Vogel from the start. Frank Vogel never really had a shot. And I'm going to tell you why Frank Vogel never had a shot. Because when you put together this roster with no defense, you understand? And then Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant do like the same shit on offense. You're not going to win. You're not going to win in an ISO heavy offense with 3 isolation scores and you have no defense around that. You know what I mean? 0 defense. Nurkic, are you fucking kidding me? You gave Frank Vogel Nurkic, bro. Nurkic is arguably one of the worst defensive centers in the NBA. You know what I mean? Grayson Allen, he's okay, but Grayson Allen, he did hit like 50%. He shot like damn near 50% from 3. He had a good season, but still, man. And then you got Beal. See, the Beal, what really did him in was that Bradley Beal trade. You know what I mean? That they should never have traded for Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal was always a guy that put up big numbers on a losing team. That's Bradley Beal. What's Bradley Beal done in the NBA? You know what I mean? Like, that's not what the Suns needed. They didn't need Bradley Beal. What they should have did was, okay, Chris Paul's making what, like $37 million? You trade Chris Paul still, but instead of trading for Bradley Beal, someone that you didn't need, you use that contract, you go get a couple role players to put around Durant and Booker, because that's what they should have did. You should have kept it as a duo. You should have kept it a duo, and then you should have surrounded them with good role players. You know what I mean? They didn't need to bring in Bradley Beal. And if you want to move DeAndre Ayton too, fine. But why Nurkic? You know what I mean? Why did they think Nurkic was the answer? You know what I mean? Nurkic was not the answer. He wasn't. You know what I mean? Oh, man. Them blaming Vogel bothers me. Because, okay, like I said earlier, you could bring in Phil Jackson. You can bring in Red Auerbach from the grave. You could bring guys like that in. But you know what? It ain't going to work because it's still the same flawed roster. You got 3 ISO scores, no defense. You got a slow-ass motherfucker named Nurkic in the middle that can't move, that can't defend. The only thing he does well is grab some rebounds. Besides that, he can't do shit. You know what I mean? So it's a flawed roster. It's flawed. I hope the Lakers' next coach moves AD back to power forward. Yeah. I mean, that's where AD has put up his best numbers in his career, OCT, is at the power forward spot. So I agree with you. AD at the 4. I like it. And honestly, LeBron should be I don't know. Because if you remember OCT, when the Lakers won that championship in 2020, LeBron was the point guard. LeBron was the starting point guard. And then Anthony Davis, I think he played power forward. I think he did. And then you had guys like JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard next to him. The Lakers need to go back to that type of team. You know what I mean? Like that type of style of play that they had. Because like that's what won them the championship. You know what I mean? Like having that style of play. And for some weird reason, they changed it all up and shook it all up. For what? I don't know. You know what I mean? It was just a lot of bad moves. And then somebody looked up about the Lakers. You know Jay McDaniels, who plays for Minnesota? Here's a fun fact about that. That pick, the Lakers traded that pick. They traded that pick for Dennis Schroeder. You know what I mean? They traded that pick. And they just, man, they gave Minnesota Jaden McDaniels. Fun fact, they traded for Dennis Schroeder, which Dennis Schroeder didn't really do anything for them. So, yeah, it was a lot of bad moves over years by the Lakers. The Lakers shot themselves in the foot, to be honest with you, OCT. But, yeah, the Lakers need to go back to that formula that won them the championship in 2020. You know what I mean? Because they had a great formula. LeBron ran the show at point. They had AD at power forward, and you had a bruising, physical defensive center. 2 bruising, defensive-minded centers like JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard, both for lob threats too. And then AD got the rocket at the 4. I mean, it's common sense. I don't know why the Lakers moved away from a winning formula. And then some other NBA news about these playoffs. OG Anunoby is out game 3 tomorrow with hamstring tightness. And honestly, there was a lot of controversy about last night's game. We can dive into that real quick. The Knicks won. Halliburton played better. Rick Carlisle, he blamed the refs. like basically in his post-game presser. But here's what I have a problem with Rick Carlisle for. Why did he take T.J. McConnell out of the game? Because T.J. McConnell was the guy playing the best defense on Brunson, and T.J. McConnell was playing good offense. Why would you bench T.J. McConnell? I mean, like I didn't. That's what lost them the game to me. I mean, because T.J. McConnell was playing really well. You could have played him in the crunch and clutch time. I mean, and I thought Carlisle lost the game right there when he benched T.J. McConnell. I mean, and obviously, were the refs good? No. I mean, and here's what I don't like about the Knicks. Everyone's saying the Knicks are a fun story, but the Knicks are not fun to watch, guys. I mean, it's Brunson. Yeah, sure. Is he hitting shots? Is he playing good? Yeah. I can't stand the flopping. His flopping is unfucking bearable, dude. Every time he goes to the rim, he falls down. It's a foul. Like, come on, man. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, get up. I mean, no one wants to see the flopping bullshit, man. It drives me up the wall watching Jalen Brunson play a lot of the times because, like, it ain't basketball. It's like Embiid. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like Embiid. It really is. It's like watching he's like the point guard version of Embiid. Little contact, he flops to the ground, and it's a foul. I mean, it's just, it drives me nuts. Knicks have no depth. They won't make it to the finals. I agree with you, man. And if Anunoby's out long term, they might not even win the series, to be honest with you. I think Indy still got a shot in the series, but they got to win game 3. You know what I mean? Indiana should have honestly won these last 2 games. If Indiana played smart basketball, they'd be up 2-0 right now. They'd be like Minnesota, win both games on the road if they just played smart. But they played dumb. Rick Carlisle made some bad coaching decisions. The refs were in the Knicks' favor, and that's why the Knicks are up 2-0 on the Pacers. I mean, the Pacers beat themselves. Brunson cooked them, and then the refs didn't do them any favors. So the Pacers, they should be really mad at themselves because they should be up 2-0 right now, and they're down 0-2. So, all right, let's see here. Any update? Oh. Damn. All right, let's see here. So Anunoby's out for game 4. It sounds like the Suns are going to try to hire Budenholzer. I don't think that'd be a bad hire, but like Budenholzer ain't going to really do much for them because it's the same flawed roster. So until the Suns shake up that roster and put a better like supporting cast around Booker and Durant, or maybe even trade Durant or something, move off of Bradley Beal, they're not going to win. I mean, like just because they're not going to win with that big 3. I'm telling you guys, it ain't going to happen. That big 3 doesn't fit well together. They're not winning with that. They got to change that up. They really, really do. They got to change that whole thing up. Here in Phoenix. Yeah, but like coaches, man, in general, just get too much blame. Draymond Green says that Jalen Brunson, Suns need a point guard, rim protector. Exactly, OCT. Like, exactly, bro. That's why making that move for Bradley Beal was such a dumb mistake. You know what I mean? Honestly, Chris Paul, like, listen, I would have rather just kept Chris Paul and instead of adding Bradley Beal. I really would have. I would. I said it back then. I'd be like, man, I would rather have just keep Chris Paul in this team because Bradley Beal didn't make any sense for them. He never did, and he never will. That move didn't make any sense. And rim protector, yeah, anyone but Nurkic. Dude, Ayton's better than Nurkic. Like, literally anyone better than Nurkic. You know what I mean? And they failed. They badly failed with those moves that they made last summer. And that's why they got swept, because it was mind-boggling move after mind-boggling move. It really was, man. It's just Now they can't really move off of Bradley Beal because Bradley Beal got a no trade clause. And then I don't know if Nurkic has any more time on his contract or if he's a free agent or whatever. But the Suns, I don't even think they have a first round pick, so I can't even say like draft the center in the first round. They need to just pull up some miracle trade and get a rim protector. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know where they can go. I really don't. I don't know. I don't know where they can go because it's bad. It's spooky for the Phoenix Suns. Hold on. Eh. What are you talking about, man? I ain't Ayton was balling after All-Star break. Exactly, OCT. Exactly, bro. Like, Ayton, see, Ayton's talented. The thing with Ayton is he just sometimes doesn't have that motor. I mean, like, that's the thing with Ayton. He doesn't have something here. I mean, like, he has all the talent. He just doesn't have it here. And that's his problem. Booker's not a point guard. Bill, exactly, bro. They play the same positions. I mean, that's not what they needed. They didn't need because trying to pretend that Devin Booker was a point guard was a horrible move when Devin Booker's a scorer. He's not a playmaker. LeBron ruined the NBA. Yeah, I mean, I don't know because you could say the Celtics were the ones that really ruined the NBA because they put together that Pierce, Allen, and Garnett big three first before LeBron did. So you could say and I'm a Celtics fan, so you could say the Celtics did it. But yeah, LeBron plays a hand in it for sure. Oh shit, Woj bomb. Mike Budenholzer is emerging as the front runner to become the Phoenix Suns head coach, league sources tell ESPN. So it sounds like Coach Bud is going to Phoenix. It sounds like they probably have a deal in place already for him to be the next coach at Phoenix. Budenholzer's a good coach. I mean, I don't hate the hire. I think it's a good hire. But they, like I said earlier, over and over and over again, they have to find a way to move Beal, and they have to get Nurkic off the team, and they have to get a legit defensive center. Because if they don't, it's going to be the same result as last season. I mean, it doesn't matter who the head coach is. If they bring back this same exact roster and you have Nurkic at center, you're not winning anything. You're going to get bounced in the first round again. Period. You're going home. You know what I mean? Because that's not a winning formula. What the Suns have right now is not a winning formula. It's not. I mean, I don't care what anyone says. I mean, like, I don't care. And people say, oh, as long as you have Booker and Durant on the same team, they always have a shot. No, they don't. Not with this roster. Not with this roster. It reminds me of when Russell Westbrook was on the Lakers. I'm comparing Bradley Beal to Russell Westbrook. Now, is Bradley Beal a good player? Yeah. Was Westbrook a bad player for the Lakers? Yeah. But that's not the problem. The problem is Bradley Beal just doesn't fit on the team. He doesn't. It's not a fit. It's not going to work. Move him, get his big contract, get his no trade clause out of there. Convince Bradley Beal to waive his no trade clause and convince the team to want him. Okay, JT, you said I really thought the Suns were going to be legit contender last summer. That team was a joke. I never thought they were going to be a legit contender, to be honest with you, JT. All that looked to me was a nice team on paper. I mean, like, I never quite thought they were going to do it in the West. Because when I looked at them, I was like, okay, even if they're like the second best team in the West, they're not getting past Denver because they don't have the size to beat Denver. You want to know why Minnesota's beating Denver right now? Is because Minnesota has the size too. You know what I mean? Minnesota has the defensive personnel to beat Denver. Phoenix never had that. They were never going to stand a chance against the Nuggets in the series. And quite frankly, no, OKC. I mean, like Minnesota. I mean, they probably weren't beaten. They got swept by Minnesota, but they probably weren't beaten Oklahoma City either, just because they didn't have that size. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, man, or the defense. So the Suns, man, they gotta clean that up, man. They have a lot to clean up. The head coach ain't gonna solve all their problems. I guess Coach Bud can help their offense and can help their defense, but Hey, we'll have to see, man. Maybe Coach Bud fixes them, but I have a hard time. Believing it until they shake up that roster. Kevin Durant's a coach killer, bro. Everyone talks about LeBron as a coach killer. Kevin Durant is a coach killer too, man. I mean, it's not to give Kevin Durant that same LeBron energy. It really is too. KD's ran through so many head coaches in his career. Scott Brooks, Billy Donovan, Steve Kerr, Kenny Atkinson, then Steve Nash, and then Jack Vaughn, and then Monty Williams, and then Frank Vogel, and then probably now Mike Budenholzer. Like the amount of head coaches that Kevin Durant has ran through in his NBA career is a joke, and it's kind of like LeBron. I mean, like these guys just run through head coach after head coach after head coach, and when they win, KD and LeBron they get all the credit, but when they lose, of course, it's the head coach's fault. I mean, it's like the same song and dance every freaking season. It's crazy, man. It's that same song, year in, year out. Ooh boy. All right, let's see here. Let's see what NBA Twitter's saying real quick. I love this segment right here. You know what I need, man? I need like, like how people have them podcasts, like where someone like reads the shit to you, and like then like you don't have to read, but like you because like it makes your job easier. Like it's like a moderator. Like okay, like it's my podcast, but this guy's hosting the podcast, and like they're reading me like what's going on around NBA, and I get to react and shit. Trying to do both at once, man, it's hard. That's why it takes me a second to eloquate my thoughts and stuff. Okay, NBA rumors. Donovan Mitchell could force an exit from Cleveland if the Cavs don't win the championship. Mitchell don't want to be in Cleveland. That's my takeaway. I think it's obvious Mitchell doesn't really want to be in Cleveland. Draymond Green says he has a hard time saying that Jalen Brunson is higher up than Carmelo Anthony. Okay. John Starks responds to Jimmy Butler's claim that he would have sent the Knicks home if he had been healthy. Quote, Jimmy don't want to see OG, that's for sure. The Heat weren't doing shit against the Knicks or the Celtics this year. The Heat were much worse than what they were last year. Okay. Colin Cowherd's a troll, man. Him and JJ Redick have a funny back and forth. Talking about JJ Redick wearing backwards hats and shit. It's funny. Quote, I think Jalen Brunson could be the best player on a championship team. I think he's proven that. Real Jay Williams. I don't know. I don't know. Comcast, NBC Universal is nearing a deal for the third NBA package, planning a basketball night in America telecast at $2.5 billion annually. Reports Sports Business Journal. TNT parent company Warner Bros. Discovery may need to raise its offer to $2.8 billion to retain its rights. This could be the end of Inside the NBA. Be honest with you guys, it'd be kind of sad to see Inside the NBA go, but be honest with you, man. I don't know, man. Charles Barkley's great. Barkley's funny, and Barkley will land on his feet. I mean, Shaq and Kenny and Ernie. Well, Ernie's good, but Ernie ain't leaving TNT. That's what I seen. But like, Shaq just doesn't do it for me, man. Kenny and Shaq just they don't do it for me anymore, man. Those guys are just corny. What Shaq did yesterday was disgusting. Shaq was disgusting yesterday with Nikola Jokic. I hated that. When the moment was supposed to be about Jokic, and then Shaq had to come and say, "Hey, Jokic, no disrespect, but SGA deserved that MVP over you." Like, come on, man. The moment ain't about you, man. It's about Jokic and Jokic winning the MVP. You know what I mean? It has nothing to do with you, Shaq. I mean, like, why do you gotta try to do that to him? You know what I mean? Try to ruin his moment. Like, Okay, if you think SGA is going to win the MVP, fine. But you know what? Let Nikola Jokic celebrate it. When Nikola Jokic, like the interview with Nikola Jokic is done, then you can go on your rant about, oh, why SGA deserved it or whatever. But to do that while Nikola Jokic is like being interviewed for the MVP and shit, and that's what you tell him to his face, it's like, hey, come on, man. Like, come on. Like, really? Like, are we being for real right now? Then I'm sorry. Kenny Smith, bro. I don't take Kenny Smith seriously because y'all remember during the All-Star game, Kenny Smith was unbearable that night. And Kenny Smith, hey, he's just corny. Like I don't like Kenny Smith that much. I mean, like the only two people on that show I really like are Barkley and Ernie Johnson anymore. I used to like Shaq and Kenny, but them guys just they're corny to me. They are. Shaq's a hater. I mean, like we've been known that Shaq's a hater, and then Kenny Smith, yeah, Kenny Smith just doesn't do it for me. It was out of pocket, JT, and yeah, Shaq is petty OCT. Like it's ridiculous. Like it's fucking ridiculous. It was Nikola Jokic's moment. If you when the interview's done, you want to say that Jokic didn't deserve MVP and SGA like deserved the MVP, fine. That's fine. I mean, you're an analyst. You can have an opinion. You have the right to feel that way. But not while the man is getting interviewed for winning the MVP. Like, you don't have to tell that. You don't have to say that to him. Like, that was just out of line to me. I didn't like that. I thought that was very, very disrespectful and disgraceful by Shaq, to be honest with you. That drove me nuts. And OCT, that was my reaction, too. I think NBA on NBC is better than TNT. So I look forward to that, OCT. I'm looking forward to being on NBC. Hopefully they can get that deal done. But yeah, man, that shit that Shaq pulled, just that was disgraceful. I hated that. That was nasty. That was nasty. Big baby Glenn Davis quote. That's the only way you could stop me from eating hamburgers is to put me in jail. I don't know if you guys heard or not, but they're putting big baby Glenn Davis in jail for. I think he's going in for 3 years. I think that's what I read. He's going in because he was part of that insurance fraud with the NBA or whatever. So, big baby Glenn Davis going to jail for 3 years, based off what I read. Oh yeah, Coach Bud is definitely getting that job because Woj just came out with a follow-up tweet. Said Budenholzer is the Suns' target. Talks are expected to move quickly. Sources tell ESPN he's been working to assemble a coaching staff for a return to a head coaching job, and that process is also gathering momentum. Sources said Coach Bud's a good coach. Like I said earlier, he's a good coach, but that the Suns got to shake up that roster. I've made it perfectly clear that what they need to do. And with Coach Bud off the table, OCT, if you're still listening to stream, what do you think the Lakers should do? Because if Coach Bud ain't available, and he was supposedly one of the Lakers' big targets, he's off the board. What do you think they're going to do? I think the guy was always JJ Redick. I'm still going to stick with that. I think they hired JJ Redick because I think he's LeBron's guy. I think Dave McMenamin said on the Rich Eisen show earlier that the Lakers feel that JJ Redick can be a great coach with time. So that's how they feel about him. They feel like he can be that guy to be that can grow into the job. And yeah, for me, I don't agree with it, but okay. Here's what Dave McMenamin told Rich Eisen earlier, because normally, like, I don't like I'm listening to Dave McMenamin because he's like the closest reporter to the Lakers, like on ESPN, and he's always followed around LeBron his whole career. So, yeah, you have to take what he says pretty seriously. Okay, here's what he said. The Lakers want Ty Lue, but the Clippers want to extend him. So Ty Lue is really the Lakers' number one target, but he ain't leaving the Clippers, basically. and they view JJ Redick as a intriguing young coach that can grow in the job. They also want to bring LeBron back, but here's the catch. And this where it's inconsistent. This is inconsistent right here. They also said there's a preference to find a experienced candidate. So the Lakers think that JJ Redick can be a really great head coach. He doesn't have any experience, but on the other side, they prefer a head coach that has experience. So I think it's gonna be JJ Redick. I think they're getting ready to hire JJ Redick. It's going to be JJ Redick, but they're monitoring Monty Williams. Man, Monty Williams ain't leaving Detroit, man. They need Detroit just gave Monty Williams like a big ass contract. I think it was like a big 7-year contract worth like I think Monty Williams won the 3 highest paid coaches in the league. I think Monty Williams ain't leaving, and I seen something. There's some buzz that Portland OCT keep an eye on this because if the Lakers job's still open, there's buzz out of Portland that they might fire Chauncey Billups. So maybe that's someone that the Lakers target if the Portland Trailblazers fire him. There's a little bit of buzz out of Portland that they might be getting ready to fire Chauncey Billups. I've seen that being reported. So maybe if Chauncey Billups becomes available, maybe. But it's probably going to be JJ Redick. Probably. Charles Lee went to the Charlotte Hornets. I think that's a great move for the Hornets. I think he's a really great up-and-coming young head coach. And to be honest with you guys, I think he's probably the best coach on the Celtics staff. You know what I mean? I think Charles Lee's even better than Mazzulla, to be honest with you. So I love that hire for the Hornets. I think that's a great hire for Charlotte. Beasles, I really like Beasles. I'm gonna use his tweet because he tweets something really great here. He said those exit interviews from the Suns told me everything I needed to know. Their front office doesn't take any accountability, and he's right. They don't. Zero accountability. They don't take any accountability. They don't. Like it's wild. So the Suns, man. what a train wreck that is. What a fucking shit show that organization is right now. That's crazy. All right, let's see what's going on around here. Here's an interesting stat right here, guys. The Suns Nets head coach will be Devin Booker's 7th different coach in 10 NBA seasons. Devin Booker. Is it fair to call Devin Booker a coach killer? Because Devin Booker's ran through his fair share of head coaches too. I mean, like it's that's what I like about Phoenix, especially Phoenix. I'm pinpointing that organization right now because it seems like when some don't go wrong, because they've had the same GM there for years. James Jones, why doesn't James Jones get fired? Because James Jones was the one that put together this crappy roster. So James Jones gets to keep his job, but they fire Frank Vogel, who really, let's be honest with you guys. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to keep it real. Like I said earlier, they set up Frank Vogel to fail with that roster they have. I mean, they really did. So James Jones, he should be on the hook. I mean, why ain't he getting the boot? I mean, like the Suns are just. I don't understand their organization, man. I don't understand it. I don't understand what they're doing. I don't understand what moves they're making. Coach Bud, I'm not high on Coach Bud either because Coach Bud always chokes in the playoffs. You know, Coach Bud could probably maximize them in the regular season, sure. I don't think it really matters what the roster they have, but he can maximize them. To me, though, move off of Bradley Beal, get rid of Nurkic. Said it a million times in the stream. Get a rim protector and get a point guard. You know what I mean? Chris Paul's going to be a free agent again, so why not go? Why not try to go bring back Chris Paul? You know what I mean? Why not try to call? They don't have any trade assets though. That's the problem. So they got to kind of rely on free agency. Even a guy like shit, man. Like if you want to bring back the same roster, why not a guy like Kyle Lowry? And I know Kyle Lowry's old, but Kyle Lowry would be a big upgrade over what they got at point guard right now. Because what they got at point guard is nothing. They don't got a point guard. So there's some names out there they can maybe go get, but like I said earlier, man, you can hire Phil Jackson. You can bring Red Auerbach back from the grave. You can do whatever you want. You can hire. You could have Greg Popovich. You could get him. Like it doesn't matter who the Suns hire as head coach. With the roster they got right now, they're not winning anything until they make massive shakeups. Trade Bradley Beal, and guess what? We'll see. Like they got to move Bradley Beal if they want any success. That might sound harsh, but Bradley Beal got to go. Nurkic got to go. And then actually build the roster how they were supposed to build it last season around Durant and Booker instead of making all these bullshit moves. The Suns really got me hot, guys, because they got me mad because like they blame everything on Vogel, and I think that's disgraceful. I think what they did to Frank Vogel was disgraceful. I'm sorry. Rick Carlisle calls out Josh Hart for this play. That's the play where he shoved Halliburton in the back. Halliburton almost went to the front row. Quote, the whole world knows that Halliburton's got a bad back, and Hart comes up and shoves him in the back. I don't know how y'all like are enjoying the Knicks. Like, I don't know how you guys are enjoying this shit. I really don't. I think the Knicks are playing dirty basketball, and the refs are bailing them out with Brunson's flopping ass. You know what I mean? The Knicks are a dirty team. They are. The Knicks, I tell you what, man. The Knicks are a dirty basketball team. They are. I've been noticing that. Josh Hart could have injured Halliburton badly last night with that shove. I mean, but you know what? The refs didn't call any foul. So, hey, apparently you can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna put a poll in the chat. Or if I can, let me see here. Okay. I'm still new to this somewhat. So, okay. So I got to end this poll. Okay. And now I could start a poll. Now I could start a different poll. Okay. I'm going to put another poll in the, are the Knicks a dirty team? I think the Knicks are a dirty team. I really believe they are, guys. I think the Knicks are a dirty team. I think it's blatant. I think they take a. I think they're dirty. I think they're a dirty team. Some of y'all might disagree with that, but I think they're dirty. I think I just don't like their tactics that they use. And then Brunson was flopping. The Knicks are just not a fun team to watch. They're good. They're gritty. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from them. They play hard. They're a gritty team, but they're also a pretty dirty team too. I know. I've been noticing that Josh Hart, Hartenstein, even those guys get away with a lot of bullshit. I mean that a lot of people don't see, but they do a lot of dirty shit. Tibbs, you're right, OCT. Tom Thibodeau teams are normally dirty. They've been. I mean, they play dirty. They do a lot of dirty, you know what? So, yeah. Let's see what else here. Here's some good news about Porzingis, guys. Quote, it's been nothing but optimism with Kristaps Porzingis getting out on the court yesterday. All early indications are super positive. I'm telling you guys, Porzingis might be back for the series if the Celtics need Porzingis. That's the way I'm reading it. I think there's a real shot that Porzingis, even though I really don't think they need Porzingis, but I think there could be a real shot that Porzingis could be back for this series. And I think if the Celtics advance to the conference finals, I think there's definitely a good chance he'll be available early, maybe even by game one of the Eastern Conference Finals. So I think we're going to be seeing Porzingis back on the court pretty soon, based off all the reporting that's out there. So I'm looking forward to Porzingis coming back. Now, I'm still trying to see if I can get an update on Jarrett Allen. I'm still looking. DeJounte Murray just had to tweet today, guys. Quote, it's crazy how coaches get blamed before the players. Like, thank you. Like, it's insanity, man. When the first thing goes wrong and they lose in the playoffs, it's never the player's fault. Oh God, no. It doesn't matter if you give them a bad defensive team and put a roster together that makes 0 sense and give them a horrible center that the only thing he can do is grab a couple rebounds. It doesn't make any sense. Hey, this roster's shit, but you know what, man? You better go out and with this roster. You're fired after 1 year. I mean, like what kind of organization is that? I mean, the Lakers gave Darvin fucking Ham 2 years at least. You know what I mean? The Celtics could have fired Mazzulla last year, but they gave Mazzulla another year. You know what I mean? So the Suns are not a well-run organization. I think it's pretty obvious that they're not. DeJounte Murray was speaking facts with that tweet, though. It's crazy how coaches get blamed for the players. Fucking insanity. It really is. It's insanity. Still no word on Jarrett Allen from what I'm. Oh, wait, hold on. Jarrett Allen out. Breaking news, guys. Jarrett Allen is out for game 2 against the Celtics. So there we go. Jarrett Allen out for tonight's game against the Celtics. That's pretty devastating for Cleveland. That's not good for Cleveland. Celtics have to take care of business tonight, man. Celtics need to come out and play their game. They do. They can't take this team lightly. They got to come out and fucking. They need to come out and play well tonight. I think Tatum will have a better game too on offense. So, hopefully. I will defend officials all day long. That play cost the Pacers game 1. Windhorst ESPN on the kickball call in the final minutes of game 1. The refs were horrible in both of them Pacers-Knicks games. But I think Rick Carlisle should be blaming himself too for taking what's that point guard's name? McConnell. Yeah, for taking McConnell out of the game. I thought that lost them the game too. To be honest with you. I hated that. That was a bad move by the coach to take McConnell out. And he said something about like refs have a bias like towards against small market teams, which my thoughts on that. Sure. Because who do you think the NBA would rather see in the conference finals? Let's just do this. Let's play this game. Who do you think the NBA would rather see in the conference finals? The Indiana Pacers or the New York Knicks? Would they rather see the Indiana market in the conference finals or would they rather see the New York market in the conference finals? I think it's pretty obvious that which market they'd rather see in the conference finals. So I somewhat agree that the NBA has a bias towards big market teams. I think that's true. I think they do. I think it's honestly common knowledge. Now, Stephen A. Smith, man, Stephen A. Smith was trying to put his cape on for the NBA, saying, "Oh, with Rick Carlos, it was total nonsense." Stephen A. Smith is just trying to protect the NBA because that's where he makes his money. You know what I mean? That's where he breads his butter. You know what I mean? Like that's where he butters his bread, whatever expression that you want to use. But yeah, it's pretty obvious that yeah, it's pretty obvious what the NBA does. Let's see here. Jamal Murray listed as questionable for tomorrow's game. I think Jamal Murray will play. Oh shit! Today's the 10th anniversary of Skip Bayless tweeting that Johnny Manziel will one day be a bigger star in Cleveland than LeBron was. Oh, Skip. That's funny. That's hilarious. Looking. I think that's it, guys. I'll just give you predictions about tonight's games real quick, and I'll talk about tomorrow's games, and I'm going to get up out of here. Tonight's game, Celtics Cleveland. I think the Celtics win. I think the Celtics are the better team, and if the Celtics don't fuck around, I think they should. I think they'll handle business tonight. But you never know with the Celtics. Sometimes Celtics can fuck around, and we'll see what happens. But I think the Celtics should be able to handle business tonight. And then Oklahoma City, Dallas. Oklahoma City played really well last game at home. But I think Dallas will win tonight. I think Dallas wins this game because I think Luka has a much better game. I think Kyrie goes off. And I think the Mavericks role players play good. And I think Oklahoma City is due to lose a game in these playoffs. And I think they're going to lose tonight to Dallas. So I think the Mavericks win tonight in a close one. I think Luka and Kyrie take over down the stretch and win this game against a somewhat still inexperienced Oklahoma City team. So, win shock if OKC won tonight, but I'm going to roll with Dallas tonight. And then tomorrow's games, New York, Indiana. I'm going to roll with Indiana to win. I think Indiana needs to win or they're going to go 3-0. I think that home crowd will be rocking tomorrow. I think it'll be buzzing. I think Halliburton will have a big game. I think the role players for Indiana will continue to play well. Obi Toppin, McConnell, those guys played well. And I don't see that changing. I don't think the Knicks get as many foul calls tomorrow because I think now that everyone's on their ass about it, I think they're actually going to give Indiana a lot of foul calls tomorrow. So I'm going to go with Indiana to win. Yeah, I agree, JT. Luka and Kai will play really well tonight, I believe, and I think they'll win that game. And then Denver, Minnesota. Everyone's going to say Minnesota. I think Denver wins tomorrow. Now, hear me out. That doesn't mean that they're going to win the series. I still think Minnesota will win the series, but I think Nikola Jokic is going to have one of them games where, like, I'm the MVP and I'm willing this team to win. So, and plus Minnesota, just like Oklahoma City, they're due to lose one. So, I like Denver tomorrow to win. So I like Indiana and Denver tomorrow. Tonight I like the Celtics and the Mavericks. So yeah, man, that's my predictions for tonight and tomorrow's games. All right, guys. I'm up out of here. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, man. This was a fun stream. I'll be back in a few days. All right, buddy. Peace.